Hey guys, sorry about that. My phone stopped, so I had to delete some old videos that I thought I had deleted. So I guess I have to start all over. Welcome to my channel. Happy Monday afternoon. The sun is shining, it's very bright, but it's chilly, so don't let the sunlight fool you. This morning, late morning, kind of early afternoon, myself and my two daughters went out to a store that we like to go to on the Ottawa side. They have a small little kind of witchy section in the store. They also have like a small indigenous part in there. There's another part in there for like Buddhism and stuff. It's called Singing Pebble. It's 206 Main Street in Ottawa, Ontario. They have a little bit of everything. They have a really cute little cafe attached to them on the side. Usually you can kind of walk from the store into the cafe. Obviously with COVID, they have that blocked off. I usually always go in there and get, like a muffin or something like that, which I have. I have my lovely little spirit board, Ouija board coffee cup from my sister's store that I bought, which is in Gatineau, and this has a Scottish blend tea in it that I bought at the Scottish Irish store, which is on Saint Laurent. It's in the plaza there. There's like the McDonald's, and the Museum of Science and Technology is kind of there. It's in there. I always go in there and buy teas from there because it's actually imported in from England and Scotland and Ireland. It's not, Irish tea, but it was made in Canada. It's actually made out there. It's shipped in. And they also have some of, Scottish pastries and pies and, things like that. So I like to go in there and kind of buy some of my Scottish heritage foods. So Singing Pebble, I went in there with my girls. Wasn't quite sure if I was going to pick up anything because I was just there like 2 weeks ago. And I did, actually. I picked up this really cute little goddess charm here. And I picked up 2 crystals. They are goldstone. I'll get more into the properties when I do another segment for crystals. The main reason why I had picked them up, I got one for my son, is because they are good for fear. So you can see the little gold flecks. As I had said, I'm pretty sure in some of my previous videos, my son was suffering from a lot of bad dreams and stuff. So one of my best friends, we've been friends for 27 years, 28 years, something like that. She is indigenous, and she makes moccasins, medicine pouches, dream catchers. Everything that she gets, she actually gets from an Aboriginal supplier. So everything is, sacred. So she made a dream catcher for me and dropped it off a couple of weeks back, and my son's been using it since. And there's been he's had no bad dreams, like nothing. So he's actually been able to fully sleep in his bed. He was terrified to sleep in his bedroom. So it's definitely helping a lot. And I picked up as you can see, I had started unboxing it when my video cut out, a tarot deck that I had been looking at probably for about a year now. It was there when I was there 2 weeks ago. I had it in my hand and then I put it back, and then I ended up getting the Moonology Oracle deck because I didn't really have an Oracle deck that I really resonated with. And then I picked up some nice, lovely lemongrass incense. Oh my God, it smells amazing. And then I picked up, they have a Aboriginal section there. The products that are there are actually made by Aboriginal men and women. So I picked up some tobacco, sacred tobacco. I do at some point will do a segment talking about different herbs that you can use for cleansing your space besides white sage and Palo Santo and tobacco, because they're all Aboriginal sacred cleansing herbs and stuff. Obviously, if an Aboriginal person gifts it to you, it's okay to use it because we've given you permission to use it to cleanse your space. I know you see me sitting here with kind of, you know, dirty blondish hair and blue eyes, but I am part Aboriginal. My mother is full Aboriginal. My father is Scottish and Métis. So I cleanse my home quite frequently with my traditional sacred herbs. I have a lot of spirits and entities in my home. So I kind of try and keep the negative side of it down. And I wanted to cleanse the new decks that I got with them as well as my crystals. So, but I will do a segment on herbs that you can use for cleansing your home that are not indigenous. You know, thyme is one. You can use cedar. I mean, we use cedar as well. But I mean, lavender is another one you can use. There's a bunch of other ones that you can use. So without ado, I have my charcoal in here. I'm pretty sure it's still lit. So this was the tarot deck. This is the one that we're going to be unboxing first. And you may see me eating my muffin because I got a muffin. All right. So let's just put, oh, that was my lighter. Yes, I did. Sorry guys, I just wanted to make sure it was on there. So this is how it comes. It's I like to buy the box sets. So this is it's a magnetic flap. It's a really good sturdy box. It comes with a beautiful book. I do know that this deck, there was some changes to some of the cards. So it's not a colored deck, or sorry, colored book, but it's fine. Like the page, it's a big picture of it, of the card. So that's the minor arcanas. Let's see. Yeah. So they give a full page for that, and then it's like a page and a half of the definition of the card. I like to buy the box sets when I am buying a new tarot, only because I like to see the interpretation of the reading, or sorry, of the cards from the author's point of view, and then obviously the traditional meaning. So it's illustrated by Mark Evans, and Ellen Dugan is the author, I believe. And there we go. So there. That's the inside of the box, the triple goddess symbol, the little ribbon there to pull the cards out. Let me just grab my scissors here. So that's the back of the cards. Triple goddess, beautiful. I mean, you could do reversals with them, like you'd be able to notice, because upright, it's like the kind of red here, and if it's in reverse, like this way, it's the blue. Some people do reversals, some people don't. So I'm just gonna separate these cards in halves, just because I want to, actually no, I'll show you guys the cards and then I'll cleanse them. All right, so let's start with the arcanas. There we go. All right, so these are the major arcanas. I believe it was the, yeah, here the Hierophant becomes the High Priest. The Wheel of Fortune becomes the Wheel of the Year, and Judgment becomes Karma. So those are the three cards that they kind of changed, just the names of them. So this is the Fool. And the Magician. I really like the Magician. It's really pretty, very colorful. The High Priestess. I love the High Priestess. It's got like the darker, like black kind of marble pillar on one side and the white marble pillar on the other side, with the crescent moon engraved in both of them. And then she's wearing like the triple goddess crown. She's got lavender in one hand and then the scroll in the other. Beautiful black cat beside her, and then she has, it looks like pomegranate beside her, and she's like floating, and you see the moon in the bottom of the card. It's gorgeous. You know, so you have like the light, and then below is the dark, you know, as above, so below type thing. It's the kind of feel I got from the card. That's really beautiful. I love the Empress. Oh, you really see the fertility in this card. She's got the rabbit here. She's with child. She's got the beautiful halo with the stars. Her scepter in her hand. Very earthy throne that she's sitting on, like solid wood. The wheat here. The river flowing behind her, and just all the clouds and the greenery in the back. It's beautiful. It like leaps fertility, this card. Beautiful, beautiful card. Then the Emperor, very strong, you know, sturdy man, family, you know, the kids having fun playing there. He, you know, supervising. He's got his throne. Beautiful. There's a lot of people that are a little intimidated by the Emperor, but it can't be. So there's the high priest, which, so that was the one that they were talking about, that changed. It's got the keys here. One's like the sun key. And then the other one is like the moon key. You know, he's pointing up. I'm curious to see what their meaning is for that card. The two pillars represent strength. And then we have the Lovers card. So this is an interesting one. I like this. So you have the Lovers standing there. Beautiful field in the back. Lots of wildflowers. You have like a nice stone walkway, like step. It looks like a little kind of creek or something behind here because it looks like water. But then there's an angel in the sky, a female angel in the sky. I've never seen a Lover's card like that. That's actually very, very beautiful. Then we have the Chariot. This is amazing. So the Chariot is being pulled by a black horse and a white horse. It's got the crescent moon, and he's on the clouds with his chariot. And then we have this Strength card. This is gorgeous. She's got the infinity sign above her head. Beautiful vine of roses kind of connecting her with the lion. So like she's mastered, you know, that strength, that inner strength, you know, she's tamed the beast kind of thing. So they're connected now, and you know, they're at one. It's beautiful. Then we have the Hermit. He's holding up the light to kind of show the pathway. It's cold too, very cold and dark. Mysterious, you know. So this is the other one. Instead of this one is the Wheel of the Year, and it was the Wheel of Fortune. So they changed the Wheel of Fortune and put Wheel of the Year. So it has like our Wheel of the Year, you know, so spring, summer, fall, winter. I love it. I'm curious to see what the meaning is for that one. And then we have Justice. This is a beautiful card. The two pillars show strength. You have the scales for, you know, like balance. The Hanged Man. This is nice. I really like the Hangman. So he's in a really tall tree, and it actually has two branches out this way. And there's a raven, it looks like, on top of the tree with the pentacle there. He's got like the halo, and then he's tied, but the one leg, as always, is not restricted. It's not tied. Very beautiful artwork. I really like the Death card. The Death card is really nice. So it's the white horse. You have the man in armor there, but it's just the skeleton head with the flames. He's got his flag. Everything is like dark and red in the background. But then you have somebody here standing with beautiful flowers that are in full bloom. You know, you've come to the end now. It's death, so now it's rebirth, regrowth, you know. Because you've come to the end of the cycle, right? Oh, the Temperance is really beautiful too. Very earthy. beautiful with the chalices from the water kind of going down from the top to the bottom or bottom to the top. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot staying connected on earth. The beautiful wings, but they're like earth toned, very earthy looking, beautiful, colorful rainbow in the background. The shadow side, that's a new one. You know what I'm thinking? I think the shadow side might be the devil. I'm just looking ahead. Yeah. So the shadow side is the replacement for the devil card, it looks like. It's very beautiful. I really like it. You know, it's you kind of looking at your shadow self. I'm interested to see what the meaning is for that one. And then obviously we have the Tower. I really like the Tower card. I don't think I've ever seen a Tower card depicted that way. I really, really like it. And then we have the Star. I love the Star card. This is amazing. Very magical. Mysterious. It's got the beautiful stars. The lady standing there, she's naked, long flowing hair, the water pouring in. Just, it's a beautiful card. I really like this card. I love the Moon card. Oh, wow. I love it. You have the crescent moon on the back, and she's standing there. She's got the keys, 3 keys. 2 beautiful wolves in the background, all like the mist. 2 like weeping willow trees in the background. It's a beautiful card. I love the Sun card. I was kind of getting tired of seeing a lot of decks where they have the Sun card and it's like a naked baby on it. I really like this Sun card. It's got a young boy on there. He's got capri shorts on. Obviously, he's shirtless. Beautiful white horse. The sun is just bright in the background and beautiful big sunflowers in the front. It's a very happy, youthful card. Okay, the Karma card. I like this. So the Karma card replaced the Judgment card. So there's 3 women standing here in long cloaks. 2 of them have their hoods on. 1 of them does not, but it's almost, and then we have a full moon here. It's almost like the triple goddess, the Mother, Maiden, and Crow. Or sorry, Mother, Maiden, and Crone. My apologies, guys. There's like a circle in the center. It looks like there's some sigils on it. And then 2 pillars with flames on them, or like sticks that are in the ground. Like beautiful, dark, you know, chunky mountains on each side. And it's a lunar eclipse. That's amazing. I'm excited to see what that means. Oh, my son's gonna love this card. So this is the World card. And it's got a young man in one corner, a beautiful eagle just soaring through in one, the lion at the bottom right, and then there's a stag in the left corner, and then the green man in the center. My son loves the green man. He resonates with the green man. It's been, well, since he really started learning from me because I'm in the process of teaching my son the craft. And he really, really resonates with the green man. He loves everything that he is about. So he's got his little green man prayer over his altar. So now we're back to the Fool, which I really love the Fool. It's, the typical, him standing at the edge of the cliff, looking up, not a care in the world type thing. And then the little puppy, which, I showed you guys. So that was the major arcanas. And now we will do the suits. So I'm just trying to do them in sections. Just, it's easier to hold the cards. It's kind of cold out. My wrist has been kind of bothering me. So we are doing the cups, the suit of cups. Which is the suit of water. It's the element of water, which would be the element of West, right? So the Ace of Cups, beautiful lily pads all over, beautiful, huge, like lake, river, mountains in the background. It looks like it's a sunset. The sun's just starting to come down. The big chalice in the middle that's overflowing. Beautiful lily flowers. Just a really beautiful card. And then we have the Two of Cups. Two people coming together. It's a hand fasting here. Beautiful flower crowns. Sun shining, and they have their two chalices. So it's a union, you're coming together. And then we have the Three of Cups. Three women smiling. They each have their chalice. Looks like there's some foxglove in the back here. Beautiful flowers. Beautiful waterfall in the back with the mountains. Very vibrant colors. I love it. And then we have the Four of Cups here. Beautiful mystic mermaid sitting there. And there's a little boy sitting there. He's got the four chalices in front of him, but he looks kind of sad, or like he's contemplating, or beautiful waterfall in the back, and he's under a beautiful tree. Like he's kind of like in his hedge, This is gorgeous. Five of Cups. Beautiful mermaid. Beautiful. The water in the background. There's like arches of like mountain, but they're arches. The rocky waves, And you have the three cups that are spilt, and then just the two that are there. Beautiful, beautiful card. Then we have the Six of Cups. This is cute. I love this. So we have two little like toddlers there with the 6 cups, and they've planted beautiful flowers in them. It's a beautiful water, a well here with the water kind of coming out of it. Nice little kind of home. Their home looks like a little like witchy cottage. I love it. It's like, planting, growth, new growth. That's amazing. I love that card. And then we have the 7 of Cups. Now this is interesting. So there's a warlock here. Beautiful witch hat with his garment. And he has all sigils all around. And then there's the 7 cups, but in each of the 7 cups, there's something different. So in one cup, there's a mermaid. The other one, there's a butterfly, which butterfly is like transformation. The other cup, it's flowers growing. Then there's a rainbow. Then the other one, it looks like a a mystical like water dragon creature. There's a castle here, and then the other one has a little kitten. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's beautiful. I'm actually curious to see what their meaning is for that. And then we have the Eight of Cups, beautiful dolphin. It's a young woman walking on the beach. You have a crescent moon with all the stars, and then just the waves kind of coming in.
Pretty nice.
That was my son. He just walked in. Then we have the Nine of Cups. She's got her 9 cups kind of in a row here, like a half a circle, and then one in the middle. We've got some fruit here from like a harvest, cauldron in the background. She looks kind of, you know, pleased with herself, you know. Then we have the 10 of Cups, which is like your completion. You know, everything's been completed. Everybody is celebrating. You have the beautiful rainbow with the 10, each of the 10 cups inside the rainbow. You have a man and a woman embracing themselves. And then you've got some younger kids playing there. Beautiful field. This is a beautiful deck so far. Oh, I love the Page of Wands. So we have a beautiful little young girl here, and she's holding one of the chalices, and there's a beautiful blue fish in it, but she's standing in a wave, and the wave is like coming over her. It's just gorgeous. Then we have the Knight of Cups, beautiful blues, greens, and he's holding the chalice, and the sun is trying to come through those clouds. Oh, the Queen of Cups. This is beautiful. So she's sitting on a beach. She's got beautiful like royal blue clothing on, beautiful crown, and she's sitting in a huge clamshell, sorry. She's holding her chalice, and then there's beautiful white roses kind of trailing up and leading up to her. And then she's got some white roses and some other like purple and lavender flowers kind of sitting on her. Beautiful sunny day, clouds, sky is nice and blue. And then we have the King of Cups. You know, he's sitting on the rock. The waves are crashing against the rock. He's got his chalice in one hand and his wand or saber in the other, depending on. Very like sure and stern, and you know. So that's the Aces, which is the element of water. So now we will do the Swords, because that's the ones that are next. And Swords represent the element of air, which would be the direction of east. So the Ace of Swords, this is beautiful. So it's got the big sword like in the middle, mountain in the background. Looks like possibly a sunset just by the coloring. Beautiful eagle just soaring through. The Two of Swords, and she's sitting on a pillar, blindfolded so she can't see. Crescent moon in the background. She's got the 2 swords. Looks like we have some little pixies or fairies kind of flying here, some lavender. Swords are very hot or cold. So, then we have this 3 of Swords. We've got some little violet flowers here kind of falling. We have 2 little well, 3 pixies, but 2 pixies that are, or fairies that are embracing each other. Looks like one is carrying the other. And then one looks like he's flying away. And then the 3 swords that are kind of stabbed through the heart. So looks like he's, you know, kind of cradling her and holding her, you know. She went through some kind of a heart trauma, you know. She's got some heartache going on there. And then we have the 4 of Swords. We've got 3 of them that are lying down against the wall, and she's got one in her hand. It looks like she has some pussy willows in her hand. So it's kind of like a rest, you know. Then we have the 5 of Swords. So we have, again, some more fairies or pixies and a moth here with the 5 of Swords there. And then we have the 6 of Swords. Somebody is in a canoe on the river, and the 6 swords that are kind of stabbed in through the canoe. Kind of almost like it's going to prevent him from moving. And then we have the 7 of Swords. You know, there's a gentleman here walking. There's like a fairy ground in the background and the mountains. There's 2 that are stuck in the ground. It looks like he's leaving 2 behind and kind of moving forward with what he's got. You know, realizing he can't carry all 7 of them, so he's going to leave some behind. And then we have the 8 of Swords. We have a beautiful young woman standing in the middle, blindfolded, and she's bound with some rope. And then she's got this 8 swords that are kind of encircling her, around her. Looks like a castle in the background, some flowers and stuff. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. I'm really, really liking this artwork. And then we have the 9 of Swords. It's kind of the traditional, you know, there's a young lady lying in the bed. Looks like she's trying to sleep, but she can't sleep. She's got a lot on her mind. There's the 9 swords kind of above her. Crescent moon in the background. She's got 1 foot off the bed, 1 foot on. You know, her hand there, her hand hanging down, like she's very restless, you know. And then we have the 10 of Swords. It's a beautiful purple flower standing here. It's very like dark and, you know, like everything's kind of dying or has died. And there's a gentleman lying on the ground, and he's got the 10 swords in his back. Then there's the owl kind of looking over. But then it's like there's light at the end of the path. Do you know what I mean? You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Then we have the Page of Swords here. It's a young man. He's holding the sword. He's in like all like just greenery in the background. Very bright blue sky. Then we have the Knight of Swords. Beautiful, beautiful horse. Then we have the Queen of Swords. This is beautiful. She's literally sitting on the top of the mountain. She's got her crown. A bushel of beautiful lavender. She's holding her sword, and she's got 1 hand out. And there's a little pixie or fairy here. Beautiful colors. I'm really, really liking these cards. Then we have the King of Swords. He's got an eagle on his hand, and then his sword, and his throne, and he's like in the woods, you know, like in nature. So that's the suit of swords. I'm just gonna take a little piece of my muffin here, guys. All right, so next we have the wands. Wands, sorry, represents fire. Its element is fire. So obviously the direction would be south. This is very beautiful. Just a big, long, like natural wood, you know, tree wand. It's just sticking in the ground. It's got some ribbon around it and flowers just growing from the wand itself. And a beautiful, beautiful butterfly. Then we have the Two of Wands. There's two wands here, beautiful flowers. He's looking out, you know, further. There's a ship either leaving or coming. Beautiful cat there. Then we have the Three of Wands. It's a young gentleman. He's standing at the edge of the cliff. Three beautiful, long, like tree wands with flowers growing out of them. Two ships, you know, he's overlooking, you know. Beautiful, beautiful. Then we have the Four of Wands. We have four beautiful women. They're all dancing. Now, if you look, so each of their dresses, the colors of each of their dresses actually represents the four directions. So obviously one is wearing blue, which would represent water. The other one is wearing a red, which would represent water. The other lady is wearing yellow, which would represent east. And the other lady is wearing green, which would represent north, which is earth. So we have water, fire, air, and earth, west, south, east, north. And they're all like together, you know, under a circle up here, which would represent like your spirit, right? That would be your fifth element. All kinds of flowers growing, beautiful little kitty there, beautiful white castle in the background. Then we have the Five of Wands. And again, this is amazing. I love this. We've got a green dragon, a blue dragon, a red dragon. And the other one is like a purple with some yellow. I love all of these wands. Like they're big, long, like tree branches that they're using as their wand. And each of them literally have flowers growing out of them. This is gorgeous. Just beautiful. Yeah, so you have yellow here, which would represent your east. Green, which would represent your north. Blue, which would represent your west. And then red would represent your fire. Your purple here could represent your spirit. It's just beautiful. And then, sorry, you can hear my poopy in the background. She hears the kids outside. And then we have 6 of Wands. Again, the 6 Wands. 2 of them with beautiful flowers. The other 2 have just green leaves growing out of them. The one that he's holding is got a beautiful green wreath around it. Just beautiful. I can't remember if I showed you guys the this was the 5 of Wands. I'm not sure if I showed you guys that. It's kind of one of those days, a little forgetful. And that's the 6 of Wands. I'm actually very excited to kind of work with these cards. And then we have the 7 of Wands. So we have 6 wands that are pointing towards him. Flowers are growing on them. The other 4, it's just green leaves sprouting, and he's holding his wand, like defending himself, you know, defense mode. Beautiful, beautiful flowers growing. It's beautiful, beautiful deck. Then we have the 8 of Wands. It's just beautiful 8 wands. 2 of them are wrapped with red ribbon. They all have flowers and stuff growing on them. It's a beautiful deck. We have the 9 of Wands. So we have 8 wands kind of standing behind her there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. All have beautiful white flowers. And then she's holding the 8th one, you know, like, I'm here, you know, that kind of protective stance, you know, like stance of power, of strength, you know. Sunset in the background. Like she's ready. Then we have the 10 of Wands. This looks like a gentleman, somebody, a person. Beautiful red cloak with a nice symbol here. And he's walking up, you know, the long path, you know, gravel, like uphill, you know. He's carrying those 10 wands, and one of them has got the red ribbon around it. Then we have the Page of Wands. It's a little young man. He's got his little wand with the red ribbon, the flowers. He's got his little kitty cat, his familiar, walking with him. He's got the little sunflower here, happy. Looks like he's shouting. He's like, hey. Beautiful. He's walking down his path. Then we have the Knight of Wands. It's a beautiful, strong, sturdy horse. Sunset in the background. Beautiful. With his wand, with all the flowers. The Queen of Wands. This is beautiful. It's very like fiery, and she's got a beautiful long yellow gown that she's wearing, but there's like red here. She's got her wand. She's sitting in a beautiful chair, but the back of her chair is a sun. It looks like a big sundial, you know. She's got the sunflowers with her. Beautiful necklace. Her beautiful crown. She looks like it's got like flowers kind of engraved in it with like gems. Beautiful cat sitting on her lap, her familiar. Looks like the fire in the background, you know. Beautiful card. It's a woman of power. That's what that is. Of strength. Then we have the King of Wands sitting in his chair. He's got the lion heads on each side of the chair. Strength. Long red cape just flowing down. All the flowers in his wand. It's beautiful, beautiful cards. I really, really love the artwork. They did a really good job on the artwork for these. Now our last suit. And I'm going to take another piece of my muffin. So this is the Pentacles. Pentacles represent Earth. So North. It's a beautiful pentacle. The sun, all the green. Then we have the Two of Pentacles with the infinity sign, you know, kind of balance. The waves, big, big waves in the background. And the clouds. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. It's in like a stained glass kind of arch kind of window. It looks like he's doing some work. He's got his green candle, his feather with his ink, and his familiar sitting there, his black cat with the green eyes. It's beautiful. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. It's an older gentleman. He's sitting on the stairs in front of his door. And he's stepping on two of the pentacles. And then he's got one between his legs. And he's kind of holding on to one. We have the Five of Pentacles. You know, everything is dead. It's cold. And then there's one little flower that's sitting here on the path. And the Five Pentacles in the tree. Then we have the Six of Pentacles. You have two little ones holding the pentacles. Then there's an older gentleman, like he's dropping, you know, dropping change. Or holding the pentacles up, whichever way. But it looks like he's giving the kids the pentacles. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's a young man standing here. Looks like he was doing some gardening. He's wearing like gardening gloves. He's got his staff. And then we have the Seven Pentacles kind of in the bush there. Like as if it's growing from the bush. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. It's a young lady here. Looks like she's cleaning and shining, you know, inspecting her pentacles. She's got one in her hand that she's doing, and the other seven are lined up. She's got a book here that's open. Could be like a book of shadows or her grimoire. She's got a candle. She's got a skull here that's sitting on top of another book. Looks like she's got like another altar tool here. And then she's got either a raven or a crow kind of sitting on the back of her chair. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. You have a beautiful woman standing in an archway here. Some big, beautiful sunflowers, but in the center of the sunflowers is the pentacles. She's got a beautiful eagle standing there. And she almost looks like she's pregnant, or it could just be the way she's standing. You know, very voluptuous, you know. Lots of greenery in the background. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have a little puppy dog here. Looks like we have like a husband and wife over here. And then we have an older gentleman, an elder here with a little baby. It looks like he's handing her, like, you know, passing on something to her, you know, or him passing on that knowledge, you know. Then we have a beautiful young lady here. She's holding a big, large pentacle. This is the Page of Pentacles. Beautiful flower tree. In the background, it looks like we have a baby lamb or something in the background that's there. Beautiful, beautiful. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the stag in the background. Beautiful black horse. That rich green earth color, you know, cape on the horse, and he's holding a big pentacle. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cards. We have a Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful queen sitting here. She's got her flowers, beautiful flowers. Some weed in there. Cute little puppy dog here. She's holding a big pentacle. Beautiful rose tree in the background. Just beautiful artwork. I really, really love the artwork of these cards. And then we have the King of Pentacles. He's got the grapevine in the background with the fruit. Castle in the background. He's got his scepter there. Looks like he's pondering, you know, like taking everything in, you know. So that's it for the cards. Let me take another piece of my muffin. And I will put another charcoal disc in. Oh, that's whipped all my lighter. And let's light this up. Perfect. Looks like my other charcoal is actually still relatively hot. So we'll just give that some time to burn and heat up. I'll just wait for it to stop sparking. And then I will put a piece of tobacco on there so I can cleanse these cards. There we go. So you'll see the smoke will start coming up from the cauldron. And then we will just kind of cleanse these cards. Cleanse these cards. Ask for my spirit guides, my ancestors, and my spirit guides to speak and guide me through these cards. So mote it be. I cleanse these cards and ask for my spirit guides, my ancestors, and my spirit animals to bless these cards and speak to them. Speak through these cards. So mote it be. piece on there. Perfect. Sorry guys, I actually have like a little I guess cleansing prayer that I say to these cards when I do it. So perfect. Alrighty, so now that they have been cleansed, let's see how they shuffle. So they are a bit shiny, but not like overly. Cardstock's pretty good. You know, not too thin, not too thick. The size of them, like just a traditional size tarot. They seem to shuffle beautifully. No complaints there. Give them a really good shuffle. Yeah, they shuffle really beautifully actually. All separated into three. I didn't really ask a question. I'm just, let's see. So that way we can kind of get a different variety to read. Meanings. All right, so we have the Fool, the 8, and the 10 of Swords. Let's see what they say in here. And then, so let's see if they have an index. Yep, they do. Perfect. So Major Arcana is 11. All right, so we start with the Major Arcana. It gives you a little info on that. And then let's see what they say for the Fool. So I won't read the full, I guess, the description. Because they give a little description of the card. Says the Fool is at the beginning of its spiritual and magical journey. The Fool is young, open, and daring enough to take a risk and to make a leap of faith. He strolls along at the very edge of the cliff, green valley below him and mountains at his back, either unaware or uncaring of the risk. Carries his leather satchel filled with his past experiences on his traveler's staff. These are kept safe and secure by his faith, symbolized by the pentagram that keeps the satchel close. His bright, colorful costume gives a nod to both his happy mood and his sunny disposition. The red feather in his cap symbolizes his zeal for life and his love of the journey. The Fool has his face tipped up to the bright blue sky and is enjoying the freedom, excitement, and adventure of his journey. The white rosebud that the Fool carries symbolizes his innocence, his trust, and those new beginnings, because white, that's kind of what it represents. The dog portrayed in this card is the Fool's companion and familiar. It prances happily alongside him. Waist Highland White Terriers, or Westies, as they are often called, are known for being loyal, energetic, and smart dogs, a perfect companion for the novice traveler. So it gives like a little description of the card, which is really nice, especially for somebody who's just starting out to read tarot. So the meaning, the first major arcana card is an excellent illustration of someone who is following their bliss. This card often materializes in a reading when the current is trying something new and completely different. They may be just beginning their spiritual journey or are exploring a new magical tradition or path. Perhaps they are taking on a brand new job or are considering an innovative business opportunity. The Fool encourages us to dare, be more open-minded, and enjoy the ride. Do not let yourself be dragged down by worries. The Fool laughingly persuades you to trust and take a chance and not feed too much about the future. Instead, just enjoy the trip and take things one day at a time. This card is all about the proverbial leap of faith, leap of faith. Sure, it is possible that you might make a mistake or fall down, but hey, you can always get right back up, brush yourself off, and try again. Sometimes that is the best way to learn, by daring to do. And at the end of the day, the Fool encourages you to open to new prospects and ideas. Live on the edge. Think outside the box. Be confident and bold. There is a big, wide, magical world out there. Go explore it. I love this. And then if you're just looking for like the keywords, follow your bliss, adventure, fresh starts, exploration, a journey, new ideas, take a chance and chase your dreams, the beginning of a spiritual quest, exploring new magical path or tradition, a leap of faith, deity association. So I like that they do this. This is really good. Good job, guys. None, because the Fool represents humanity. Astrological association is Uranus. And then it gives you reverse. So if the card was in reverse, and if you do reversals, some people do reversals, some people don't. I kind of go with my intuition, because there are times where I don't do the reversal because I don't feel like the meaning fits for the situation. And then there are other times where I'm like, oh yeah, it's the reversal. It's the reversal meaning. So reversed is irresponsibility, recklessness, dangerous, and careless behavior. A precarious situation. There is a need to be cautious and plan ahead. And then we have the Eight of Cups. So let me just look here. So Cups starts at 81. I really, really love that they do, like they do that. They give you like a deity association if there is one. That's amazing. I love that. And like the astrological, you know, assigned to it. So now we're in the cups. So it gives you information about the cups and the suit, which is, like I said, the element of water. All the magical associations that flow from this element, such as psychic abilities, love and emotion. Cups cards flow down a path to understanding through love, inspiration, and imagination. I have the hiccups all of a sudden. Sorry, guys. The Suit of Cups is aligned to people born under a watery zodiac. So Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Physically, the court cards of the Cups suit represent people who have light brown to blonde hair and blue or green eyes. That's different. I've never seen, I've never read that before. This is why I like buying the box sets, because I like to see the author's way of interpreting the cards. In addition, individuals who are drawn to the cup suit may be romantic, sensitive, psychic, and very empathic. I really do like the Suit of Cups. And they may let their emotions lead the way. They are dreamers and the mystics of the world. So what did we have? We had the Eight of Cups. So let's see. All right, so I think it's just the major arcanas that give the deity association to the cards, because the suits doesn't have that, but it does have the keywords. So Eight of Cups. So the next. All right, so Eight of Cups, it gives you a little information and kind of description of the cup, where they're going with the design of the cup. It says she has chosen to abandon things that are no longer necessary or are detrimental. As she travels down the beach, a dolphin spy hops out to see her. The dolphin was considered to be a messenger by the ancient Greeks. He appears in this card as if he is checking on the woman's progress. I like that. The young woman is moving on and moving forward. The blossoms in her hair are symbolic. I thought so. In the language of flowers, pink sweet peas symbolize departure. I thought there was... So that's the other reason why I like to get the box sets, is because the artist who is doing the artwork for the cards will put little symbols in the cards, you know, and to the naked eye you're like, it's just a flower, but reality, and when you're doing tarot, like literally everything that's in the card represents something. Like everything has a meaning, you know, like the dolphin, you know, everything, the flower, everything. Yeah, because in here she's walking away from the cups, right? So she's leaving it behind. Wow. So this card symbolizes the need to move on in your life. The need to move forward might be a physical relocation, such as moving for a job or moving to a new home, or this may be an emotional shift. Either way, the message of Eight of Cups should be honored. If your move is emotional, then set some healthy boundaries, put the past behind you, and go forward with determination to a better, happier, healthier place. If you are physically moving, then go forward and enjoy the positive changes in your life. And then it gives you your keywords. Moving on with your life, leaving the past behind you, setting healthy boundaries. And then obviously the reverse, which is abandoning success, risk of making a bad decision. And then we have the Ten of Swords. These are amazing cards. I'm so happy I bought this deck. 125. So again, it gives you, it talks about the suit of swords itself. I won't get into that. We have the Ten of Swords. A lot of people are very frightened, very taken back by this Ten of Swords. My daughter actually was one of those until I kind of explained the Ten of Swords to her in a different aspect. And then she was kind of like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I like that idea, you know. I mean, obviously, yes, it's about backstabbing and things like that, but it's also, it's like, okay, you're at the end of the road, everything's done, now it's time to make a change. What have you learned, you know, from past events that have happened to you that have led you up to this? And, you know, what are we not going to do? And steps to take forward, you know, for moving forward, right? Which, I mean, it describes it here, right? So it talks a bit about the card. You know, the man lies face down in the grass. 10 swords stabbing him in the back. Talks about his hair color, the cloak color. The owl, also a creature of the element of air, is a classic symbol of magic, mystery, and inner wisdom. Again, the inner wisdom. What have you learned, you know, from this situation or this journey, or, you know, these experiences that kind of led you to having these swords kind of in your back? You know, what have you learned? You know, what wisdom have you gained? It talks about the landscape in the background, which I had mentioned, is ominous, dark, and threatening. There are so many swords in the man that it must have taken a group of people to do this. The lack of blood in the card reminds us that this is a symbolic act and not a literal one. The man is portrayed here, trusted when he shouldn't have, or ignored his own instincts. Again, like what I was saying, you know, betrayal. A lone plant of purple blooming, monk's heart grows near the body. In the language of flowers, monk should warns that a deadly foe is near. Clearly, this man did not pay attention to the poisonous herbs warning. So again, it's, you know, if you pull this card, it's telling you, like, you know, to be aware. It's a warning card. It's warning you. You know, it could be warning you that, you know, somebody close to you, or it could be somebody that you could end up becoming acquainted with that is not who they say they are. But it's also, you know, I mean, obviously it depends on the question that you're asking. It's also of knowledge. You know, what have you learned? You know, okay, so you ignored your intuition, and you ignored that gut feeling and all the signs that were telling you not to trust these people, or not to trust that person or that situation or whatever it was, and you still continued to go down that path, and now you've got these 10 swords stabbing in your back. So what knowledge have you gained through this experience, through that journey? What have you learned, and what have you learned not to do Do you know what I mean? So then it goes into the meaning. When the Ten of Swords rolls into a reading, you have to ask yourself, why did you not listen to your own instincts? Again, what I said, this card is a vivid illustration of being stabbed in the back. This shows betrayal from a loved one, friend, or coven member. This is what happens when you ignore your inner voice and your gut hunches that something is wrong. By ignoring the warning signs and not paying heed to your own instincts, that trouble was brewing. You have paid the price, like I said. This card is also can also symbolize being involved with a toxic group of people, such as in a job environment or even in a coven, where you are not cherished but instead made to feel like an outsider. If your instincts are warning you that you don't belong, you need to be wise like the owl and fly away from the group and all of their negativity. Then it goes into your keywords. A coven where you do not feel accepted or cherished, a toxic group of people, betrayal, being stabbed in the back, ignoring your instincts, and then obviously it gives you reversed, physical harm from another, a negative or immoral group of people, unfairly becoming the scapegoat for a family or coven, and all of its problems. And again, I like to put that I guess spin on the card as well, of like, you know, depending on, you know, the question asked and the situation and stuff, that it's also a time for us to gain knowledge. You know, okay, so we didn't listen to ourselves, we didn't listen to our inner voice, we didn't listen to all the warnings that were heating ahead of us. What's done is done. You know, we've already taken that path. We've already got the 10 swords stabbed in our back. We've already been stabbed in our back. What knowledge have we gained from it? You know, what are we not going to do to repeat that cycle? You know, and if you keep getting the 10 of swords in your readings, it's because you're not learning. You're not listening. You're not learning. You know, you need to listen, you need to pay attention, and you have to listen to yourself. You know, only you know yourself, right? So if that keeps appearing, it's because you're not listening, you know, so you're not learning. And because you're not learning is why you keep repeating that cycle, right? Mm-hmm. So this is my son, Lucius. Now I wanted to read the, what was it? Yeah, it was the Hierophant. Oh yeah, it's on the box. That's right. So my apologies, guys. Yeah, so let's see what the Hierophant and the High Priest and the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel of the Year and Judgment says. I'm curious. As well as the Devil card, which was the Shadow or something Shadow. I'm just curious to their interpretation of it. So let's check this out. So the Hierophant becomes the High Priest. Lucius, please don't play with those. They are glass. Thank you. All right. Okay, so the High Priest. Let's check this out. Who's that? Okay. So it gives a description here. Let's see. The High Priest sits on a stone bench at the temple. He is an elegant older gentleman, one of the wise ones. He wears a rich, flowing, regal scarlet robe and his silver pentagram. Yeah. a symbol of magical power and personal protection, is displayed proudly upon his chest. The position of his right hand, 2 fingers up and 2 fingers down. Oh, yes, okay. And the wooden staff he holds in his left hand are classic tarot symbols. That's correct. They represent balance between the worlds of the physical and the spiritual. That's right. Remember, as I was saying, as above, so below. Sorry, I just lost my place. Oh, yeah. The 3 cross pieces of the staff correspond to the upper world, the middle world, the underworld. Okay. In the background, we see mountains and a lush natural setting, which I had mentioned. In the foreground, a long shadow is cast. 2 large skeleton keys, which I had mentioned, hover in the air before the high priest. These 2 prominent skeleton keys represent the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Okay, I had a feeling that's what it was, but I wasn't sure. That's why I didn't mention it. So I'll just show you here. I won't go through the cards. So remember I was saying how one had the moon and one had the sun. So the sun is masculine energy and the moon is feminine energy. Okay, I love that. So represented by the moon with its silver lunar key and the sun with its golden solar key, respectively. One of the many names for this card is the Hierophant. The high priest is an authority figure, a counselor, and the keeper of magical traditions and knowledge. Okay, I like that. I like how they interpreted everything. That is awesome. So the meaning for this one, when this card appears in a reading, it means that there are questions that need answering and advice to be sought. Classically, this card denotes a need for legal advice or counseling. It may also indicate a course of study or furthering your education or the need to settle disputes in a coven. But remember that the high priest is the wise and patient counselor, an elder, and a teacher. He does not give you all the answers to your questions. Well, no, you need to find answers for yourself as well, right? Instead, he helps you figure out where to look to find your own truths. He places in your hands the keys to unlock the mysteries and to gain deeper knowledge, then trusts that you will find the answers yourself using the lessons he has so carefully taught you. I really like that. So keywords, possible legal matters to attend to, counseling, settling disputes in a coven, upholding tradition, preserving magical wisdom, understanding the mysteries of the craft, furthering your education, uncovering your personal truths. And then we have the deity associations, Horus, Jupiter, Mithras, the sage, and then astrological association is the Taurus, and then it gives you your reverse. So receiving unreliable or unsuitable advice, making a hasty or poor decision, expecting others to make the decision for you. So the other one was the Wheel of the Year. So let's find... Okay, so there we have the Wheel of the Year, which had all of the seasons in it. Sorry, my brain just drew a blank. A silver lunar pentagram is surrounded by the 8-spoked golden solar wheel of the year. In the background, we see bright blue skies and soft clouds. This card invokes the magic and mystery of the wheel